Mamas, come and save your child. Baby Earth is reeling and wailing and needs your tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's eyes, ooh, come save your child. Come save your child.
Hello, good evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to GBC Women with Words. It's another Thursday evening, and we're here. Hello, Agatha.
Good evening. It's Friday Eve.
I know, the day before Yama Yama Day.
Yes, my favorite day of all.
I know.
How are you doing,
everybody? We want to welcome all of you. We want to thank you for joining us again on this Thursday. We're here. True to our word, we want to say, please invite somebody to join us the show today. I'm going to find another word. It's going to be very intriguing today because we have lots of women. They're going to be telling us some very important stuff that we need to do. Liberia is highest on the agenda today for this show. And everything that's going on. So if you're out there, you want to be able to share the show, you want to be able to come and listen to see where you can be able to provide some form of assistance. So welcome to the show. Of course, my name is Glendy Jane Juniors, and I am here this evening with
Agatha Joseph.
So welcome, everybody. We're going to start right away with just some old business that we want to talk about.
Hey, it's important business.
Yes, very important. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this twice today. I'm gonna put the flyer up for our celebrations on this weekend. We'll talk. I thought we'll talk about it now, and then at the end of the show, we'll talk about it also. So go ahead, take it from there.
All right. If you notice that my background doesn't have the regular GBC logo, but that's because I am here in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Looking forward to seeing and meeting all of you this Saturday. We're going to be at the Norton Liberty. It is a bar and restaurant, Liberian owned. It is in the heart of D.C. It's beautiful. It's fabulous. The food is good. Auntie the Virgin gonna be there. Auntie the Badass gonna be there, and Auntie the Beauty is gonna be there. And our favorite technical,
I know, right?
Adam's own son,
the oldest one too.
So you have an opportunity to meet us. We will be doing a live show from there. So if you're around the area, please stop by and say hi.
And I think one of the things I'm looking forward to is to be able to meet the owner of the restaurant.
Yes.
And to also the fact that we've been given an opportunity to be there, but to also showcase his business, a Liberian-owned business in the heart of the nation's capital.
Yes.
It's not going to be easy, my people.
Yeah.
Come on, let's patronize. Come on, let's support him. Get to hear about it whenever you're in DC, go around there and just support Liberia. I mean, we have Liberian businesses just all over the place.
Doing really great things. Really great things. This bar and restaurant competes with the best of the best in this DC area.
The food colors are making me hungry.
The food
color. See the food and drinks color.
The drinks.
Yes.
Excuse me, the drinks.
Yeah, we gotta find a designated driver. But anyway, we will be there. We're looking forward to being there on Saturday. Saturday evening, we will be there. And I think the entire weekend, what's gonna be top on our list is to be promoting Liberian businesses.
Absolutely.
Somewhere during the Saturday in the day, you all gonna see us somewhere else again.
What we gonna be eating?
We're going to be eating Dumboy.
For real?
We're going to be eating Dumba on Saturday in Germantown, Maryland. I'm going to keep that. You guys going to watch out. We're going to be there. GBC will be there. We'll be surprising that owner. She's She's already beside herself that GBC chose to go and have her cook so that we can eat domo. I cannot wait. I told her, this is what I told her. I said, listen, my grandmother was the best doo-doo maker. And you're not bastard, so you don't know doo-doo.
It's the yama yama that goes on the
Mama,
soup. I know what that is.
told
Girl,
her,
stop. I like food.
I told her, I said, there is no doo-doo like doo-doo with potato greens, but
potato greens. I've never had that before.
Yes, that doo-doo got to be green with the lime. So I told her, I said, I'm looking forward to eating that domo. So, but we're excited that we could do this, and we'll be together this weekend to be able to celebrate, have some time just to be able to of course, it will be Agatha's first time meeting Auntie Beauty and Michael. I know all of them. I know all of them.
In person, yes. I'm really excited about that.
So we're looking forward to it.
Anyway.
Just for the month of September, look, I'm taking us to December.
I know, right?
For awareness is the Better Breakfast Month. I hope you all have been eating healthy. Baby Safety Month and Classical Music Month. The colors, of course, are 4 colors. So I hope you found yourself in one of these colors up here. Blue, black, brown, gold, whatever it is. I hope you found yourself wearing one of these colors this week. So as we said, we do have an entourage of women on the show this evening. They're all here. We're looking forward to talking to them. We're going to bring our guests on the show so we get to meet them. They're representing the organization Liberian Women Advocacy to End Violence in Liberia. As for such a time like this, it is important that we have a group of women from various backgrounds in Liberia, giving various perspectives. But the important thing is to have women come together and say enough is enough. So we're going to first which I think because we have 4 women, we'll bring them on one at a time, introduce themselves, and then we'll go to the next person. So I'm going to bring on the boss lady herself. Welcome. Hello, Massa.
Hi, Ente Glende. How are you? Hi, Agatha. How are you?
Hi, Massa. Welcome to Women with Words.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here, and at the same time, grateful that you could host us on this prestigious platform.
Definitely. We couldn't refuse. We're looking for trouble for Liberian women.
We have strong, beautiful, intelligent Liberian women doing great things in Liberia. So I'm really excited to talk to all of you.
Thank you.
I don't want us to bring everyone. I want you to tell us what's your position, and then we bring the next person, so that we have that part squared away before we start talking.
Okay. They like to say I'm the founder, but I actually consider myself the initiator. So you initiate something, and then everybody comes on board, and then it becomes everybody's. So that's my approach. The idea came about just sometime in late March, April. It was as a result of, the consistent violence taking place in Liberia. It's like just nonstop. Every morning you wake up. I mean, you ladies are active with the media, and you see it every day. Every day you wake up, something has happened. I mean, some of the incidents and some of the stories, they stick with you. You go to bed and you have nightmare. You wake up in the morning and it starts all over. The cycle repeats itself because it's unending. So it was against that background that I threw out a passionate plead on Facebook, which is it's a popular medium for everybody, calling on all of us, like women of Liberia, to please let's come together and see how we can do something about the violence in Liberia. Now, the reason we have Liberian Women Advocacy to end the violence, we know that it may be impossible to completely end the violence in any society, but then we just thought if we said to reduce the violence, it would be like, oh, so you want some violence, but you just want to reduce. Yeah. So hence, the name to end the violence. So it was actually an initiation by me. I threw out the appeal out there, and other women responded immediately, which was really a good thing. And some of the people who actually responded and came together were, some people who, sometimes you thought you didn't have anything in common with them.
Right.
But then after people responded and you started talking, you realize, oh my God, we have much more in common than we thought all this time, than just liking somebody's Facebook post or something. So
Right.
so that's how it started. It actually started from a passionate plea and a call on via Facebook to all women of Liberia to say, let's come together, let's see how we can help address the situation of violence in our country, because it's completely ridiculous. It has to stop. It's just completely ridiculous. Every single day you wake up, something bad has happened. They kill somebody. I mean, how do you rape a 7-year-old? Break her neck and throw her in the open septic tank? People, baby.
We're going to get much more into that, but really quickly, in 15 seconds or less, tell us who is Massa Washington.
Well, Massa Washington, if you heard about me at all, you probably heard some good things and you probably heard some bad things too. People like to use the word controversial sometimes when they refer to some of us. But actually, I don't think controversial I don't think it's a bad word. It simply means that you are not afraid to take on the issues. You're brave enough, you're bold enough, and you're engaging enough.
Okay.
So that's who I am. I will not hesitate to discuss the issue, and I always try to bring the truth to it. I have not always been 100% correct, but at least I've done it, coming from a good place with good intentions.
Awesome.
Great.
Well,
Let me welcome Lindora. Hello, lady.
You're on mute. You want to unmute yourself? There we go.
Good evening. How are you all doing?
Welcome.
We're good. So who is Lindora?
Well, my name is Lindora Koluhawa Diawara. As you can see, I'm a Liberian. I'm a women's rights and peace activist. I'm one of the founding members of this organization, and I'm also the founder and executive director of the Business for Peace Community Development Foundation, a foundation registered and operating here in the U.S., but also in Liberia.
Awesome.
Amazing. We got some big people on today, Agatha.
I know. Well, nice to meet you, Lindora. We'll come back to you. Let's bring the third lady out.
So I want to bring hello.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Who are you?
Well, my name is Beatrice Karnga Gray, and I have this title in the organization as a research chairperson on research. That's a big title, right? That's a big title, but what that means is just talk about the focus of what we're trying to do. And the focus is more on solutions. You don't find solutions until you know what has happened, what worked, what never worked. You have to look into all of that. What could work, who to follow, who to find, network with. So that's the focus of the research, to find solutions. How do we find solutions? Who are the people that we network with? What are the recommendations out there? So that's awesome. My job.
Good. Can I make a suggestion, ladies? If you're not speaking, can you go on mute? There's some sort of an echo, so that way our viewers can hear whomever is speaking. Thank you. All right. Well, welcome, Beatrice.
Yeah. Beatrice, welcome, yeah.
And then I'll say welcome, Beatrice.
Thank you, Agatha. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mama. So there's one other person here. I don't see her on camera. I don't know if she's ready. I'm gonna put you up though. I can't. Okay, you gotta fix the camera a little bit so we can see your face.
There we go.
There you go. They will monkey all hard time Katira school. Introduce yourself today.
Welcome.
I heard y'all trying to do your little Liberian thing. So a small get on business. I ain't got time.
Okay, we're live, so let's go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Well, most people know me as Miss Sambola, Famatta, Jebbeh, Sambola, Lincoln, Hubbard. I'm an educator and an advocate. I'm also a member of this August body, and also a member of Women in Action for Change. And we all advocating for the same thing. We just want our women, our children, especially, and our male counterpart to also feel that they are a part of this great country called Liberia, and that violence in any form is not good, whether towards a female or towards a male. So this is why I openly joined this organization, so that we can all unite and put our voices together and be heard and find solution to the problems in Liberia. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm blessed to see two of my own. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks
It's a
for
pleasure
being
to
here.
have you
Can you
also.
adjust your camera just a little bit, Mrs. Lincoln?
Yeah, but
We're seeing half of your face. There we go. We want to see that beautiful face. You don't have the hair tied today, so, but I still want to see all of your face.
All righty, welcome. So, one thing that is amazing to see 4 women here from 4 different backgrounds,
Yeah.
different expertise. Just tell me, when in the first meeting, what happened? What happened in the first meeting? We heard a little bit about the initiation to start the group. We hear Beatrice for research. We got Lindora here. We have Miss Samala. We have Massa, this TRC journalist. So I want to know, when you all did the first call, the first meeting, I just want to hear about, because it's important for people to see that Liberian can do whatever they put their mind to doing, and that there are more people that think that we cannot work together than us who can work together. So I want to hear about, when you have the first meeting, you get a core group of people. How do you guys? How were you able to say, this is what I want us to join together to do?
Well, I would say that in the first meeting, we introduced ourselves, and I mean, it just felt like we have known one another for a long time, because I guess the cause, I said everyone is born to be an advocate. So when we came together and said, this is what we want to do, and this is the cause, it was not hard at all to connect people, because we all have the passion and we all want to see a better Liberia. So the cause, actually brought us together initially, and then we started forming differences. And one of the things that we noted was we knew that we're Liberian women. Of course, some of us from different political backgrounds, and we said, this is apolitical. We are not going to go there. That was the number one thing we talked about, because we did not want to defeat the purpose for which we came together. So that was one of the things that we talked about. But initially, we connected right away.
Beautiful. So Massa, as you initiate this group and you have these women joining, and so how did you guys just give us some brief history on how you came up with the name and the purpose of the group?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. First, I would like to add to what Beatrice has just said.
So you mean her name, not Beatrice?
Beatrice.
Yeah, we calling her Beatrice all along.
I'm following Avdata.
Okay, there you go. Hey, I see what here today.
So the first thing I did psychologically, because when you call people, when you throw out, a plea to people and say, yo, let's come together and do this. For me, it was important to psychologically immediately stand down. And when I say stand down, it's not an aggressive term. It simply means that I needed to be grounded. I needed to be calm. I needed to be respectful of everybody. And I needed to humanize everybody who was coming, and also the process. It's very important. So it was important to me that the ladies who were coming, because I told myself, these are all extremely high achieving ladies. One, they are adults. They hold their ground. Two, they are educated. They are all high achievers. And so when you're calling people together, you must understand first the word respect. There must be respect. There must be tolerance of people's ideas. Because if you knew it all and you have all the solution, you're not going to call people to come together to work with you. So it was very important for me to psychologically step down. And when I say stand down, I simply mean that I needed to start from zero. Don't bring the group and then you already have a preconceived idea of what you need to be doing. When you do that, then as you move on, you will have problem. So our very first meeting, we had nothing. Like B said, we just introduced ourselves. Some of us knew each other. Some of us knew each other just, virtually.
Right.
But we introduced ourselves. We got to know each other, and then we started appreciating each other. And then we started from scratch. It was never, this is what I think, let's do this. It was always, if anybody had a suggestion, it was always the group. It was always like, what do you all think? Does this sound okay? Or can we look at it this way? Every single person in this group has a voice. Every single person in this group is respected. Every single person in this group feels valuable. So when you work with people on the basis of equal partnership, respect, mutual respect, and then from the standpoint of, I do not know it all, I do not have all of the answers, you got to have a group that succeeds. So it was very important. So me as the person, who was calling everybody, who was chairing the meetings, it was important for me to, most of the time, listen. Yes, I came up with an agenda for each meeting, but before the agenda was made, all of the women were consulted, literally. And some of the agenda items, even if they came on the agenda in terms of any other business, it was always consultative. What do you think? Look at this. They say, okay. So, it was just amazing to see us, like, Glenn, like you ladies said, we're all from different background, different age range, different experiences, different education, different schooling. And, I said to the ladies one time when this group was moving on and doing so well, it was so amazing, Glenda. I remember saying to them, oh my God, this group could be that example of how Liberians can work together, regardless of what.
Awesome.
We told ourselves, we all have our different connections, and we said, well, we're here for this purpose, and we will stick to this purpose. And all our other quote unquote skeletons, nobody bringing it here. We'll deal with it outside of this group. And it's been a wonderful experience. I could not in my entire life work with any other better group of women. This has been an amazing experience.
Great. So I want to before I pass it on to Agatha, I want to ask Lindora. So I will say, for me, I know everybody here except Lindora. And what is important for me, the reason why I'm bringing this up is this is not somebody that may be popular to most of us, but she's a part of the group. So when you're invited to this group, Lindora, to come and join, and you hear the name and you hear that you're going to be working with a group of women, what do you say? What was the decision you had to make? It's like, oh Lord, or sure I will.
That's a great question. Thank you. I have been very busy trying to work on my foundation. And one of the things that I'm trying to do with that foundation, especially here in the US, but also in the Liberian diaspora around, is to be able to help mobilize Liberian women to do work on the ground in Liberia. And so in terms of my own work, there are a couple of people who know me very well, that have reached out to me to join different organizations or support them in different ways. And I've said to them, I have a full plate. I just can't. So when I got the call that night, and Massa told me about what she was trying to do, and without hesitation, I knew that automatically it aligned with what I was trying to do. I just said a big yes. I said, count me in. So I don't even know if we stayed on the phone for like 5 minutes. When she worked with the TRC, we did some work together. I being a women's rights and peace activist, I've done a lot of work on the ground in Liberia. A lot of people don't know the organization name, but they know the Women in White as the Peace Women, I work with Lima, Roberta Bowie. We help mobilize women and help contribute towards the end of the war. So there's a lot that I've done on the ground, and a lot of people know me when it comes to that. But again, yeah, when it comes to the work that I intend to do through my foundation in terms of working with others and getting Liberian women to be more visible and vocal in terms of helping to change our country around, I just thought that was the best call I had received that evening, and there was no need to go play around to talk about my plate being full, because again, that's the crux of the matter we're talking about here.
Okay. All right. Agata?
So let's talk about this advocacy. What does it really look like? If you were to meet someone that was not familiar with Liberia, what would you tell them that you do? Give us examples of what you've done, people you've met, some of the issues that you've encountered that you're trying to resolve or eradicate. So tell us what your advocacy looks like. Maybe
Maybe
we'll
we
go
should
to
have Miss Samula start there. Since she has
how she boss it, Miss Amula.
I know you don't mind.
Just to come in and piggyback on what and I said, when it comes to forming groups like such as this, especially women working together, and it's good. Brenda said it all when she asked the question: how can women from diverse backgrounds come together, form a group? You see, when you have like-minded people working together for a cause that they believe in, they push for that. And so no matter what our differences are, we are looking at the whole picture, the holistic view of what we have started to do. Like most of the Lindora already has a foundation, other in our organization.
I'm sorry, Miss Amula, one moment. Could you go on mute if you aren't speaking? There's a lot of background and we're not able to hear her. Thank you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay. So coming together, it just shows that when we have the same ideas and we are advocating for the same reasons, we can all work together and make it work. Because it's only like-minded people that work hard to get good results. So coming together, we are all educated women, and of course we are fierce and fabulous, and we are ready to work for the cause of this advocacy. So we are here, like most of us didn't know each other. Some of us knew each other. Some of us have heard about, some of us, but coming together and answering the call from Massa was just, a piece of cake. But we are here and we are ready to work.
So I'll ask the question another way. What does your day-to-day activity look like when you're advocating? Who do you advocate for? How do you get in contact with those people? What are your process? If someone wanted to get in touch with one of you, how do you pick your person that you're advocating for?
Okay, so thank God I went to good schools and I made some good friends along the way and some bad friends. And of course, I use the biggest podium that I have, the classroom. And I talk to parents on a daily basis. As you people know, I'm a teacher that have that relationship with my parents. And I've been talking to some people about what is going on in Liberia. And the first thing, most of our own Liberian women will be the ones to try to tear you down. You're sure you're going to do that thing? Women can't work together. Oh, hey, let's see what will happen. But when you talk to other women of other nationalities, then the nationals, they tell you like, oh, we are experiencing the same thing in our country. Oh, I just wish something like this could be, on some of our agendas. And they openly receive us. So I've been talking to not only Liberian women, I've been talking to other African women, and they are also interested. And I'm hoping to see at least 3 of them on Saturday at the symposium where they will really get to know what this organization is about. And like we are just starting, and we have ways to go, but we can still start on a small scale and see ourselves expanding, globally. But for now, we are going gradually, and we will get there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would hate that after the show, when you're reviewing this show, that you don't get to see your beautiful face. Still need to do some adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's better. That's a whole lot better.
So,
All right.
Massa, I will go back to you if you don't mind. When we first brought you on and you were doing your introduction, you started to talk about a particular case in Liberia. I'm not sure if it was that particular case or another case, but tell me what actually tugged at your heart that made you say enough is enough. I must do something. Because like you said, there's been several that we've covered on this show and, talked about on Facebook and other social media platforms. Which one or how many of them that was the one that really, set you off to say, I have to do something?
That's a very interesting question. It was just the fatigue with just watching and hearing the gross violations of other people's human rights every single day. Not only the direct victims themselves, but their families, the immediate surroundings, the community by extension, and then even people like us who watching all this gory thing. But there were two cases, all of the cases actually stand out. But the two that I take with me, there was a young boy sometime last year by the name of Joel. And this little boy, his mother worked for some school in the community, and I think she was a registrar or something. And because I called the family, I was talking to, when it happened, I just woke up that morning and saw it on Facebook. And the people's son, it just touched me so much. Her only son, she has only 2 children, her only son. And the mother worked with a school, and she was the registrar, or she is the registrar for the school and whatsoever. But the school board decided that they were going to lay some people off. And unfortunately, being a registrar, she was the one who the letter came from, laying people off. It was not her decision. But in the process of laying people off, people being, upset, being angry or whatsoever, apparently they targeted her son. Now, I mean, not 100% have all of the facts, but from what I gathered, they targeted her son. This lady had one of the best child you can ever hope for, because I spoke to her and I spoke to her sister. He was only 12 years old. When you saw his picture, you knew he was going someplace. Smart kid, I mean, very helpful to his family. And some disgruntled elements apparently in the school got upset. They're thinking in their little minds that this woman, who is just a registrar at the school, actually had the power to lay them off. So what do? They wanted to get back at her. How did they do it? They hurt her in the most place. Her son took his dog, was carrying his dog to bathe his dog. And they ambushed a little boy, grown man, grabbed him, broke his bones in his body, and murdered this girl child. Jesus. When I saw that thing on Facebook that morning, and when I saw the way she cried, I cried like I knew the child. That stands out. I called the family, and that stands out. And the other one that stands out also was just this recent one, I think just like a month ago. When you see the picture on Front Page Africa, it made front page headline, the grandmother is in the air like this, up to God. Mm-hmm. Her grandchildren, her daughter and husband, when they go into work, they would drop off the grandkids to her. The 7-year-old daughter, who was the oldest, all of them. And so this particular day, the grandmother needed Pampers. The baby ran out of Pampers. After they dropped them off, baby ran out of Pampers. So she sent a 7-year-old child. You know how Africa is. The corner store is just right next to you. You can stand on the
right.
Yeah. So she gave her child, 7-year-old grandchild, and said, go over there and get, a pack of Pampers for the baby. Oh my God. But this is not the first time. The children been going to the house every day. They would be there after work. Their parents pick them up. Oh my God. They short time to send the child right here. The child disappeared. They're looking for the kid all over the place. They later found her. She's been raped, neck broken, and they thrown her in the open septic tank. That was a month ago. That one happened. Wow. But there was another one before that really broke me because we started talking at True or the Challenge in late March. There was another one that really, really broke me. And I'm like, oh no, this is too much. I know all of us in our own weak ways, we're trying. Like what you all are doing with this show, you've tried.
Yeah.
This is your way of dealing with this issue. You talk about this issue, you highlight this issue. This is public awareness, dissemination, information, and education. That's what you're doing. So all of us in our different ways, we try to, educate our people about what is happening. But after a while, some of these things, they talk at your heartstring.
Yeah.
It's like the violence is just too much. For people who, some of us, we're anti-violence. So every day you wake up in the morning, this thing happened, and then you're just supposed to go about your normal days. It traumatized us. I don't know how many of you sit and cry. I can sit and cry sometimes when I see those things. I can cry like it just happened, to me. Right. So it is against that background. So, okay, so what can we do? We got to come together. We know all of us have been trying in our own way, considering our own strength, limited resources. But then I was thinking, I say, all of us, we are very strong. But you see, we are stronger together. So I was thinking, if we come together as strong, powerful women, we can be gigantic. Okay. And so that's where the idea came from. And I just got up that morning and said, no, this thing, it got to stop, man. We got to do something. And I just threw it out there. And some of the women who actually threw, this call out to were women who, damn myself, we clash on Facebook. We clash on different subjects and different issues. But then that was not the time. We can disagree today. Absolutely. But we must still be able to move and work together, because disagreement doesn't mean that you hit me or I hit you. No, right. I don't think so. We can disagree on one thing. We agree on one thing, but then we could agree on 99 things and disagree on one thing. Right. So this is where we are today. So it was that compassion, it was that pain, for other people. Look, Liberians, we can stop, or at least we can significantly reduce the violence if we just try to just imagine this was us. Right. Imagine it was us. And the scary thing about it is that you think these people are far detached from you. You don't know them. You think the ordinary people, you think the poor people. Guess what? And they start killing everybody. Didn't they kill two sons of two presidents? Right. And they're raping decent people. We know some people, we have to protect identity. So we need to do something about this. And I'm glad that everybody, including, both of you, I'm sure if y'all didn't have your program on Saturday, knowing Glendale, I'm sure you're going to make the ride to Delaware. But there's always other times. Yeah, absolutely. The fact that you can have us on this show alone, you have done so much already. And
let me just say something to you too, and I'm pretty sure I want to tell you this, that when people and I'm going to remind Agata and B, we also put together a group around the same time. I think we started a group around the same time talking. Yes. I think it was 8 of us. Put a group together to do the same thing.
For children.
Yes, for children. And we started, I think we had the first 3 meeting. I'll tell you, no lie, we even registered the organization. And then in the background, I spoke to B twice, and then B told me that you all were starting this. Oh, and wow. So my thing for me was, there's no point in trying to, I never went back to Agata. I mean, we had 2 or 3 meetings, but in my subconscious, it was like, if we have there's no point in us having 2 separate groups doing the same thing. Right. And it also would have meant a bit difficult for B to be with us and be with you all, because she had said, oh, there's another women group. And once she expressed that, it was like, you know what? Even though we have started, let them go ahead. And so we will be able to see what we can do to help promote. And I think it is important, and I'm excited. I'm excited because there's different women from different, like, I don't ever think, I'm not going to call her name the way similar people call it. I'll never see Beatrice in any group like this. To see Beatrice in this group says a lot about the cause. And I think I wanted to just make mention of that, and to everybody who's listening, whatever we can do to come together as women of Liberia, it's important that we do that. My question is to the research analyst, the research person, Beatrice. So when you're, and I know you all are just starting, and after we do, we'll talk a little bit, after this question, we can talk a little bit about what's happening this weekend. So when you're, what does your work entail as the research person for this group?
You know, when I started, I said this is a very big title that was given to me. But like I said, you know, we have seen different advocacy groups and individuals, and kudos to all of them, because this work is not an easy work.
Mhm.
And they've been there doing it for many, many years and months. And actually, this group and other group that's coming behind us will emerge from their work, from their hard work. So we you know, we are grateful for what has been done, because they're the one who on a daily basis, you know, giving us the awareness every day. They're the one who's seeing the actual violence and interacting with the families. There are different focuses of advocacy, you know. And I one of the questions I will ask at, you know, another interview was, why not join all the other groups? Why do you have to form another group? And the answer was, why not different groups? Because there are different focuses of advocacy. And so my research, coming to that question, my research is focused on the core value of our group, which is to find solutions. So how do you find solutions? I mean, you do a lot of research. There are a lot of studies that have been done on violence in Liberia. And there are a lot of recommendations, good recommendations that have not been implemented. So how do you implement those recommendations? You know, and the recommendations suggest that we work, that you cannot, you know, reduce the violence in Liberia unless you work with all parties, you work with everybody, you know. So how do we get to work with these people? What has been done? You know, what's working, what's not working, you know. So the research, you know, look at all of these things and form, you know, findings that we can work with. I was just looking at the USAID 2022 conflict assessment on Liberia. And it said that the violence remained sporadic, you know, but it lacked robust organizational structure. Only because, for example, if we find a case or identify a case today, you know, the way it's done, in the media, you know, social media. So the case is, it's only 3 days. It's like breaking news. Oh, this happened, and everybody's crying, and it's gone. Yes, there is no structure. So how do we structure these incidents that's coming up? You know, to put some kind of meaningful solution to it. Or this child was sodomized and his tongue cut out. Oh no, a 3-year-old girl was raped. Oh no, this one happened. How do you structure all of that? So that is the focus we have. So talking about my research, this big title is to look at all of that, you know, to say, what do we do? Who do we connect with? You know, how do we connect with even other groups that came before us? You know, what do they have? How do we work with that? So that's the focus.
Yeah, amazing. So let's talk a little bit, and to folks who's just watching, if you're just joining us, of course, this is GBC Women with Words. This evening, we're here with the Liberian Women Advocacy to End Violence group. They're talking to us. They've established themselves into an organization trying to stop violence in Liberia. This weekend is going to be a very big weekend for them. So we're going to go into telling us what's happening this weekend. Massa?
Yeah, sure. So this weekend we have our symposium, and the symposium is going to be our first major public event. Our first major public event is because we are just now launching. Just 2 weeks ago, we engaged the media for the first time, and we've been trying to make our rounds of social media, and now we're on this platform. So these activities are all part of the launching of our program. The symposium is our first big event. And people have been asking why the symposium. Some people have asked us to say, look, Massa, you ladies are strong, you're powerful, you have strong voices. Why not organize a demonstration and demonstrate? Why not issue a strong press statement and condemn, the violence, condemn the government that's not doing their job to properly address the violence, blah, 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 blah. But like Abid said, we want to be structured. We want to be systematic. It's because we want to be able to do things deliberately and intentionally so that we can be able to derive at our goals that we set for ourselves. This group is a solution-focused group. We want to be able, at the end of the day, to come up with solutions. So we don't only want to raise the alarm. Other groups are already doing it, and they're fantastic at what they do. Like B said, there's several different types of advocacy. Some people raise the alarm. Some people, they shout it out. They're very passionate about presenting it. That's very good. That's very good. But our group want to be able to take it to the next step, because after you've raised the alarm, after you advocate passionately, after you call people out, after you call the government out, what next? What next? What's happening? Is it decreasing? Is the violence decreasing? What's next? So our group is coming in now to look at that what next and pick it up from there. And that's what, so the symposium is going to be our first big event. At the symposium, we're going to be sitting down. We're going to be deliberating on the different categories of violence. We're going to be looking at child abuse, domestic violence, violence against the LGBT community, or child labor, and all those different categories of violence. And then at the end of the day, one of our speakers, his topic is to specifically help us come up with recommendations on how we can, or strategies, recommendations that will help us with strategies as to how we can try to end the violence. And we are very blessed to have with us three fantastic speakers. Our keynote speaker is the Lieutenant Governor of Delaware, who is a social worker, a clinical social worker. She's a trauma specialist, even though she's a politician now, but she knows the field. So it was strategic in bringing her. And her topic, she's going to be deliberating on the psychological impact of violence on the victims and victims' communities. And then we're going to have one of our guest speakers is former Liberian ambassador to the United States, Her Excellency Richard Wayne-Dix. And then we're going to have our third speaker is Mr. Lawrence Kennedy, who's actually going to be the one helping us put all these recommendations together that come up from the different speakers. And at the end of the day, we will have those recommendations. Our group will retreat as a group, look at those recommendations, and then see how we can come up with a comprehensive work plans in terms of strategy for the next 12 months. So Saturday event is important to us because it is our first public event besides our launching. And we're looking forward to having a very, very important time. And hopefully from there, we will have a comprehensive blueprint for moving forward.
Okay. All right. Have you all made some connections with the people? I mean, with the people in Liberia, or I'm pretty sure you have plans to also connect with people who are in Liberia to be able to expand the work that you want to do and have them also participate. Right?
Yes, of course. I was trying to not to overtalk my other colleagues. I wanted to give them,
okay, somebody else can chime in.
Let me take it from there. Yes, we are in the process of doing that. For example, when it comes to the symposium, some of the women leaders from different networks, some of those that are working on the issues of different forms of violence have been invited to attend the program. We have one of our members that's looking specifically at potential collaborators through our work. So all of us, based on our own networks have submitted names of organizations on the ground, of women leaders on the ground who we can work with to ensure that we don't duplicate efforts. And so she has like a list of groups. And after the symposium, like even today, we're exchanging and talking about the need to maybe hold like a virtual meeting, engage with them while we are planning to go on the ground and meet them physically. But definitely we're going to be doing that because, again, like my colleagues have already said, we are very much aware that things are happening on the ground. Women are working, human rights defenders are working, they are on their feet day and night. And so we don't intend to go to duplicate efforts or show to people that we are the ones with the solution. We want to work with them. We are sitting here. There's so much that we can do from where we are. And so they are going to be the drivers of it. And we will be here to see how we can connect with other Liberians around the US, around the world, to say, hey, this thing needs to end, and it is everybody's business.
Okay. So, Miss Samula, what are you looking forward to for Saturday?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting more people involved with our cause. And like Massa Redley said, each person bring one. So we hope that this symposium will be our first exposure, because you know how people are afraid when things start newly. They're like, how far are they going to go, this and that. Let me see who will go there. But I say you go first and see who coming after you.
Exactly.
Yes.
If we can all have that mindset where we're not waiting for somebody to come before we move, we will do a lot of great things. So we are going there with our open minds, and we know what we want. And as time goes by, I know that with the potential of this group, the dynamics of this group, there will be solutions. Like B said, there are a lot of recommendations, but it's one thing just writing them. We want to implementations. And as both of you know, you were arguing whether I taught your government. Yes, you did government, because you took Joseph Guanu book. So just
there you go.
I was right.
And
it wasn't social studies.
That's social studies. Yeah, this civics also. Let me remind you.
There you go.
Okay, so these are things that we talked about back in the days, but again, there were laws on the book for these things, but they were not implemented. Right. So that seed that was sown has germinated so badly now until it has gotten worse, because people feel like they can't say anything. You know, like when the question was asked, what really led you to this, to join this advocacy? My cousin was killed cold-bloodedly. Until today, we have no idea, nothing on how he was killed, why he was killed. But we know there will be one day we will find a solution. And so we don't want to just talk about these things. We want to take action. We want to see that when we go to this symposium, people will really understand why we're advocating for what we are advocating for. Yes, some of us can sit down and say, oh yeah, we're abused. Like my brothers and I were just jokingly saying the other day, wow, if our party come to be a time, they did it in good trouble. But there was some good abuse. That's why some of us sitting here today.
Yeah.
But the abuse now is not like a discipline abuse. This is physical violence we're talking about. We're talking about a 50-year-old man raping a 3-year-old girl. And it's serious. It is serious. So the more we talk about it, some of us are so passionate about things like these because we never heard about these kind of things when we were growing up. I'm not saying they were not happening, and I don't want anybody to get me wrong, but to see it openly like this, in a septic tank, find a little child in a septic tank, and then they go to the law and nothing is done. Like another person read this, I think it was Lindora, we have to get every person involved. All stakeholders have to be represented here. And we not only talking about writing these things, we want to see implementations done. We want to know that there is a law that we have on book against these things. And these laws have to be implemented. But before these laws are implemented, we have to put people there who understand the laws that are written.
Yes.
So we have to do things that we Liberians know how to do, and we can do it right. And this group, I can assure you, in a year or two from now, we will be heard globally, and we will be on the international scene, and people will know that we are serious-minded people.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Glendy, can you do me a favor and put back up the flyer for this Saturday, the 17th. So this, I'm going to assume this is an open invitation, right, to everyone that has not only Liberia at heart, but anyone that wants to end violence. So we're encouraging all of our viewers to tell someone, if you're in the Delaware area, tell someone, bring someone, tell that person to bring someone. So it's at the Continental Hall, 627 Smyrna on Clayton Boulevard in Smyrna, Delaware. And it's hosted by these. We have 4 of them present today. There is one missing. She's a bit under the weather. I got a message from her. But truly, this is, you know, we always say here on Women with Words, we try to highlight what's good with Liberia. Even though this is targeting something that is horribly wrong with Liberia, it is eventually something that is going to be good for Liberia when these women start to advocate for all of our families. I think Massa was the one that said earlier, we tend to think that people that are impacted by such horrible violence are, you know, poor people, uneducated people, or whatever you know, their status may be. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is Liberia and Liberians that are suffering. So don't wait for it to hit close to home, for it to be someone you know. I mean, this child could have been, you know, my grandchild or my niece. So I sympathize and empathize with what you're saying, Massa. Too many times we see all of these stories on social media, and you're right. I remember, I think Eva said it once, you start to become numb to them because they happen so often, you know, very frequently, almost every day. But something must be done. And I commend all of you ladies for taking this initiative to do something about it. And this is, you're in the infancy stage. And like, I'm not going to call her Miss Samula because she's no longer Miss Samula. Mrs. Lincoln said that in a year or two, you all are going to grow and improve. So I want to extend an open invitation for you to come back after you've had your symposium and you've met people and you've put your plan into place. Come back here and tell us about it. Let's learn and see how we can all wrap our hands around you all and help make a safer Liberia.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thanks.
So, and the symposium is at 12 noon on Saturday. I don't know if you have plans to air it or make it live so that people can watch, or even record it and post it later. And like Agatha said, let me just reinforce that this platform, and Beatrice knows, once you come here, this becomes your platform. So when Beatrice called, even though we had no space, the minute somebody cancel, I say automatically the slot becomes your slot. So whenever you want to come back, please don't be a stranger to this. I mean, yes, we do meet on Thursdays, but there are Saturdays that if you have something that you want us to do and there's a Thursday is not available, we will wholeheartedly host you on a Saturday, because you do have one of our members of this platform. But as we come to the end of the interview, we're looking forward to you all doing great things and great work for Liberia and helping to change the violence dynamics in Liberia. So congratulations to all of you for doing this. We certainly won't be able to be there on Saturday, but you can rest assured that we will also continue to promote your activities and try to promote on our page for the symposium on Sunday. If there's anything that we can do, don't hesitate, reach out to us, and we will definitely make our platform available. Absolutely. So if you want to just say, Agatha can say 15 seconds of closing comments. As we all come to the end of this interview.
Okay, so Glenda, I just sent you via your messenger our most current flyer with the pictures of the speakers. So that's the most current one. I hope, I kind of realized you didn't have it. I just sent it. And then also, I would just like to say quickly that we do have one of us who is actually the community liaison person, Florence Famula Harris. Florence is the chairperson on community liaison. So like Lindora and everybody else said, she's in touch. She has identified more than 22 groups in Liberia, from Monserrado, Magibi County, Grand Bassa, Cape Mount, and other places. She's been in touch with them. We sent invitations already via email, and we're going to be. And when Elaine was in Liberia, she also met with one or two of these women. So definitely, we are looking to systematically engage people in Liberia, because that's where all of this thing is happening. I just wanted to add that. Thank you so much for having us, and it's actually been a pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure's been ours.
All right.
Go around the thing, Mrs. Lincoln, Hubbard. You need plenty, Miss Amula. Your 15 seconds closing remarks, please.
Thank you for having us, and we will be back with some good news in a few. But we are happy that we could be here and to let our work be known. And as soon as things really pick up, we will come back and talk to you guys again. But thanks for having us. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Looking forward to it. Lindora, you want to go next?
Thank you all for following the show, to those, the listening audience, and thank you all for giving us this platform to be visible and to make our voices heard, because it's very important for women. When we all advocated for peace in Liberia, we didn't ask for what we have now. And so it tells us that we still have a lot of work to do. This has nothing to do with politics. Those who are looking at us tonight and trying to scrutinize every word that we are saying, to see who's going to try moving forward or to start advocating or start going out there to campaign to be a senator or representative or whatever. This is not about that. Our people are hurting. Our country is hurting. Our people are dying. Our children are dying. And we need to stand up. And so let me again use the opportunity to make this call on behalf of the group to all Liberians, to all well-wishers of Liberia. Rise, come and join us. And let's do something about the violence in our country and in our region. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindora. Beatrice?
Yes, thank you so much for having us tonight. As always, your show, I say, is the best, because you bring on, things that matter, things that really matter. So I really thank you for doing that. And I thank God for this show. And I always say that advocacy, is everybody's business. If you're a human being with soul, with empathy, you will advocate against something. Violence, especially when you look at raping of a child, a baby, something within your soul has to be stirred up. Nobody has to call you. Something has to be stirred up for you to say, my God, what can I do about this? Even if you're a mother. So this is for everybody. We should all join forces to make sure that our little girls and boys and women are all safe. I remember in Liberia, we used to be running all in the rain and just playing and not even think about anything. Now it's very bad. It's bad. You can't leave your child anywhere without them being harmed. So we're just calling on everyone to join us. This is not our business. It's everybody's business. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. We will definitely be sharing the flyer and inviting people to come to the symposium. We wish you all the best. Thank you for being here.
Good luck on Saturday, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You might just see me at that restaurant after the program,
Very good. We will be there, Agatha. Let me tell you. Agatha like party business, so we will be there.
And our farmer Delaware is right there.
Yes, we will be there. It will be nice to see you. All right. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Wow.
Yes.
What an incredible group of women, right?
Yes, incredible, amazing
Wow.
that they can do this. We're
You know,
rooting for them.
I'm happy that they've taken on this. This is a cross to bear. It's heavy. I
Yeah.
still remember Eva saying, Agatha, it's so much. I've just become numb to it. And we will encourage each other and say, we cannot, we still have to speak up. We still have to do something. So I really feel encouraged today that I see 5 strong women, intelligent, forceful, educated. There's so much to be said about these women. So I'm extremely proud to be a Liberian woman right now. And I'm just so grateful that we had an opportunity to speak to them and share their story. So let's just put our arms around them and support them to make sure we help do what we can to stop the violence in Liberia.
Yeah. It's about that time. And I mean, starting can be difficult, but
Of course.
I think they're committed to this cause, and they're looking forward to go beyond. Beyond the symposium and do a lot of great work. So we will do what we can as Liberian women to help support them and
encourage them.
Yes, and encourage them. So we will share the flyer, but just to close up on that segment, the symposium is on Saturday. It's in Delaware. It starts at 12 o'clock. The address is on. You can follow us on the GBC page. We will be sharing it. I'll also share on my personal page just to encourage. If you're in the area, please stop by and be a part of this process. Let's all of us participate in ending the violence to every race and every group and every gender in Liberia. All righty.
This was a good show. Yeah.
Well,
let's get into it.
Yeah. All right. Mommy, what Mommy saying?
Mommy saying a lot today, Oma.
Mommy, you talking plenty today?
Yeah, well, she's talking plenty today. Let me tell you, for those of you who are just joining us and don't know who Mommy is, she's Macy Stummer's mother, and Macy has done fabulously well to document all of her mother's parables and sayings and wise words and things of that sort. So we dedicated, I don't know, I think it's 52 weeks. It's a whole, every Thursday we do a card from her. So today's reads, if money was not an option, what would you do? Who would you help and where would you go? This is a lot. So let's talk about this a little bit, okay?
Yes.
So if money was not an option, Glendy, what would you do? What would you be doing with your life right now if money wasn't an option?
I mean, whatever I have, I will still be helping people. If money was not an option, I will continue to do some of the things I'm doing now.
Okay.
Because most of the things that I do really don't have to do a lot with money.
Okay.
Advocacy here, doing this show here, we don't do a lot of money talking for people, calling them, showing that you care, showing that you're concerned. I think I will probably be doing a lot. And then if money really wasn't the problem, I would do a lot more because there are more that you can do, but sometimes it stops you because you don't have money to give.
Or you wouldn't need to work a full-time job, so you will have more time, right?
Yes.
To do some of the things that you're saying it doesn't have monetary value, but you use a lot of your time. And you wouldn't be able to do that because you have to go to work.
I have to work.
Right.
I have to work.
If money wasn't an option, my answer is similar to yours. I would still be doing what I'm doing. I do give a lot monetarily. I'm in the process right now of buying or purchasing 30 bunk beds to sleep 60 children. So if you're out there, I'm going to be coming to solicit to you soon. But yeah, so I would do much more than that. I have few children in Liberia that I support. I pay their tuition. I have those 75 kids that I do the Christmas thing for. I got a kid in college. I got a couple of women that I pay their monthly salaries. And then of course I have my own personal assistant and I support things like that. So yeah, that will be, I will continue doing what I'm doing, but I will do it on a larger scale because I wouldn't have a budget. I got a budget. Mr. Joseph can put me on a budget when I do too much. So it says, who would you help? Of course, but our navel strings are buried in Monrovia, right? It's in Liberia. So, I do my part here in the States. I do the March of Dimes. That's close to my heart. I always support the March of Dimes. So I will continue to do that here and, of course, in Liberia. Where would you do? Who would you help?
I think it would be the same thing. I think for me, the primary would be Liberia, but I also think the focus would not just be on Monrovia. I have a dying need to be able to go to to be able to start helping where my dad came from.
Okay.
And that's something that I'm praying and looking forward to doing. But also there are some initiatives that I initiated that I'm not able to continue to help because of how many things I want to do. So I'm looking forward to next year to really going back to my father's town.
Where is that?
It's in Grand Bassa County.
Grand Bassa County.
Grand Bassa County. I want to be able to, a lot of children there. My dad's parents, their house was just a prominent location. It was like a central location. But I really want to be able to do something for them because my father was like their handbag. It's like he helped everybody and it's a burden. If it's not a school or something to do, I really want to be able to do something for them there. And I hope that I can do that. But that's one thing that's on my mind. But I think this quote is heavy.
Yeah.
I just think it's heavy because I don't think people ever think that they won't have money. So this was a heavy quote. If money wasn't there, what would you be doing?
I like this last question. It says, and this has nothing, I interpreted it to mean that this is about me. It's not about anybody else. The last question is, where would you go?
Yes.
Where would you go? I love to travel. Mm-hmm. I will be somewhere every week, literally.
Yes. Yes.
I want to see.
I would love to go to Japan.
Okay.
I want to go to Japan. I don't really want to. I just want to go to Japan because I just think, or Korea.
You want to go to Asia?
I work with a lot of Korean people before, and the food is good.
Okay. You're all about the food.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to Asia. Thailand is a place that I've been wanting to go. I want to go to the Philippines. So somewhere in Asia wouldn't be bad. Okay. Yeah. But I don't have any limits. If money wasn't an issue, I will be in Malta today, laying down on somebody's beach, drinking something that I probably can't pronounce.
Yeah.
And
so that quote, we will, Agatha will be sharing it on the page later to continue the conversation, but that's a heavy quote. Because I don't think people ever think that they don't have money. They think we need money all the time.
Right.
So mom may say, you ain't get money, what you will do? Where you will go? Who you will be helping? And then where would the grandma be coming from?
Exactly.
You ain't get money, no trouble. So that was a beautiful one. If you want to go, if you go to order stuff on Macy's on blufferjoe.com, we have a code. We have a special discount.
Oh,
so
nice.
You have to be able to put in the code GBC 2022.
Okay.
That is the code to go to order. You have to put in that code GBC 2022. Go order from blufferjoe.com and you get a special discount. And we're excited that Macy could do this for us. We're still looking forward to was it a blue lipstick she's supposed to do?
Oh, that's for you. That information. She sent me, I got the moisturizer and I've started to use it and I like it so far, but I need to wear it and go out. I've been wearing it indoors, so I want to go out and see how it works.
Please wear it on Saturday.
I will. I brought it with me, so I will paint my face. and go out.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Looking
let's
forward
I
to it.
think that's it. We're not gonna do it. Well, training today we heard about Brussels. I don't know anything
Okay,
about
it's not
what's going on.
Brussels, it's Brussels air, right?
Yes, Brussels
It's
Airlines.
Brussels air.
Brussels
That's
Air.
funny. Yeah, and I listened to Spoon Talk today. I'm not sure why they had a carrier's gray on. He's relatively clueless to what's going on in the airport. He doesn't have anything to do with it. So I'm kind of, and he really didn't have much to offer as far as a response. There was another guy that was on the phone.
That was the airport, I think the airport manager or something.
I don't think it was Elliot or something. He said something that was kind of, did he just say that? He said to Google airport shortage.
Yeah.
I've been traveling since I was about 10 years old. If there ever was a shortage, I never experienced it because the backup generator picks up immediately. And you cannot compare Liberia to a country like the United States.
Yes.
If something was wrong with Tampa International Airport, we have St. Pete Airport International Airport, we have an airport in Sarasota, we have an airport in Orlando, we have an airport in Miami.
We have even 3 right in DMV.
Yeah,
4 or 5 in DMV.
International airports. So God forbid if something was to go wrong with one of them, they had options. Unfortunately, in Liberia, should something happen to Roberts International Airport, there's no other airport to land. So, this is apolitical. I'm just speaking as a Liberian. I'm speaking for all of my sisters that are trying to do businesses and they're traveling all over West Africa and Africa, going to China, Asia to bring stuff to Liberia. We're talking about family members that are traveling in and out of Liberia, businessmen, government officials. We don't want anything to happen to anyone that is traveling by air. So I beg of you, whatever it is, government is continuous. Stop saying the previous government did. You are responsible now. So please, 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 let's find a solution. Stop pointing fingers. Let's find a solution. It's your responsibility now. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. And it's a pretty serious thing. So I hope that they prioritize fixing that. Because, of course, if flights are canceled, there will be people stranded.
Yes.
And various parts now, they have to either go to Ivory Coast or go to Ghana or go to Sierra Leone.
And it's a life or death issue, right? Because there are no equipped medical facility in Liberia. So all of those big shots, they travel outside of Liberia to get medical attention, which I think it should stop. But I'm just saying it's not just for one set of people, it's for all Liberians.
All Liberians.
Stop thinking about who's to blame and just fix it.
Fix the problem.
Just fix the problem.
It's a priority. So next week's guest is Pinky Bima. This lady lost I think her son Eric Gall. He was a football player in college, I believe. And she gets to hear, she's all the way in Liberia, and she gets to hear that her son had had a heart attack and died.
Wow.
So she will be here next week. She will be talking to us about how she's been able to cope. What are some of the things she's done? I mean, I think she has a whole village right now that she's taking care of in memory of her son. I think it's called Peter's Village, Peter's Kids. She gives clothes and she just takes care of them. And most of the time, that's where she lives. She stays there. And it's kind of, she's still have difficult days and times, and reminds me of us last week talking to Samantha. So we want to be able to see how she's coping, what she's been able to do, and how she's been able to just continue with her life, not move on, because she definitely cannot. So Pinky will be here next week and talking to us. We're looking forward to her being here next week. And Saturday again. There we go.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're in town. We are in DC, the nation's capital.
Yes,
We
we
will
are
be
here.
at Norton Liberty Bar and Grill.
We are
It's
here.
10151 27th Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. We will be there from 5 p.m. just chit-chatting with you, whoever comes out. I know there are quite a few people that's committed to coming, so I'm thinking about 12-15 so far. There's more than enough room there. It can hold up to 300 people. This is a Liberian owned. We'll be speaking to my friend and brother, Ben Ure. He's not the Benoni Ure of the politics. This is just a friend of ours, and we will be talking to him, and we're going to be spending time there. Glennie's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Eva's going to be there. Michael's going to be there. So we are looking forward to meeting you all, and y'all know I like to party, so we just might turn out.
We're going to be dancing.
Out.
We're going to be dancing.
Yes, we will.
Ben, let me tell you, Ben, please make sure you tell Ben the French fries, the picture is the first thing I want to eat.
It's the shrimp that I want to eat. Did you see the shrimp?
And those cocktails.
Woo! Yes, I am excited.
I gotta be drinking some kind of cocktail on Saturday.
You will be drinking some kind of cocktail on Saturday.
But we're looking forward to just having some time together.
Yes.
After working a whole year, just absorbing the relationship and all of us. So we're looking forward to seeing Michael, Agatha, and Eva. Looking forward to it. So come on, y'all. Come meet us. Come, let's talk. Come, let's eat. Come, let's drink. Come be a part of the live show. There's going to be a live show.
Yeah.
A live show. We're looking forward to it. Come feel us. Michael is here. You coming on?
He's shaking his head. Whatever. Anyway, folks, so we are out of time.
Yeah. We'll see you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Look out for the show on Saturday. We'll try to do a flyer just to let you all know timing. We also want you to get to meet Eric Ure, you said?
Ben
Ure. Want you to meet Ben Ure, so that you know about his restaurant. I do work in DC, so I could go there for lunch one of these days. You never know. So
you will like it though.
Yes. Yeah. I like the French fries already. So
all right. We'll see you all on Saturday.
We'll see you on Saturday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.